the absolutely beloved and heavily missed flat ride known as Ripsaw at Alton Towers may actually be returning for good, as hinted at by some brand new planning applications made by the park. And I may seem very excited, but that of course means that I'm one step closer to having to eat my own shoe, because that's the bet I put on if it does return. Oh dear lord. But like I've said before, you haven't read the title wrong, and what I said is not fake. The park have submitted plans for a brand new flat ride, and there's a couple things that really do line up and zone in that it is going to be Ripsaw, but it might not be for definite. And you may have already noticed, but behind me is the brand new setup. It's not done at all yet, there's so much still to do. But you can see it is a lot wider of a room. Wide room, but there'll be so much more and it will look so much better soon, I promise. And of course, if you do go on to enjoy this small little update about Alton Towers, even though it's pretty big, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It'd be greatly appreciated. So I thought, what better way to start this video than discuss the story of Forbidden Valley? Actually, we won't do that because that'll take years. Let's just, fast rewind back to Ripsaw opening. And that, of course, entered the park in 1997, which then, about 18 years later, I think, closed in 2015. That was quick maths, I didn't know that. The ride seemed to be quite unreliable, it was quite old, and the park just decided no more Ripsaw. Bye-bye. Yes, they threw that beloved ride away in the bin for this beauty of an attraction. But since it closed and since Forbidden Suite, that area has since homed a show, which I never saw, but it looks weird. And then obviously more recently, it became the area for Fly. But now, of course, with Forbidden Valley having this massive overhaul and the Retro Squad leaving, that area seems vacant. Until now. Because Alton Towers have officially submitted an application to put a brand new permanent flat ride in that area. Thank the Lord, towers and flat rides, they don't often go together. But they are today, and that is so exciting. And as much as this is a public document, the first person I did see post this was Towers Times, so massive shout out to them. And as said, it's public documentation, it's just something on the government or council website. I haven't broke into Magic HQ and stolen the plans, don't worry. But as you can see, here is the document here, and you can see it's been submitted by Alton Towers, obviously. And the whole thing reads as follows. The proposal is for the removal of the existing Fly ride and to replace it with an attraction that sits atop a concrete structure that has an approximate overall height of 18 meters. The structure will house plant and storage on either side of an access tunnel that will maintain guest access within the Forbidden Valley area. Theming features will be situated to either side of the structure, with queue line wrapping to the south and southeast. Now there's a lot to unpack there, believe it or not, because obviously there is the obvious thing of Fly being removed and replaced by this brand new flat ride they want to bring in. And if you want me to explain that, I already have. And one of the other things is, of course, that the ride will sit atop a concrete structure and be 18 meters in overall height. And there's obviously a few flat rides that could have that height. You've got, a drop tower that could be 18 meters tall, a family drop tower that could be 18 meters tall, and there's probably a few others here and there, but the ones I was predicting personally, I said there could be a small gyro swing thing that definitely doesn't work because they're way under 18 meters tall. I said a Zamperla Nebulaz as well, but that's probably about 10 meters tall, so way off again. And the other options that I put forward, and many others have put forward as well, don't really suit that height mark either, except from one ride specifically that we said might make a return. That fits it exactly, because yes, it could be coming back from the dead. Ripsaw fits the exact height mark of 18 meters high. I don't know what else you can say. It's the biggest coincidence ever, and if you say otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. If the ride is stationary, it's not 18 meters tall, but I believe when it actually swings upwards, it is. I think that's where it gets its 18 meters from. I don't know. I'm not a height expert, although I am pretty tall myself, I would say. But along with that, we can see a further piece of that passage. Theming features will be situated to either side of the structure, with queue line wrapping to the south and southeast. That bit. And with the whole theming features bit being situated on either side of the ride, that basically means the ride's in the middle of it, which is what Ripsaw would be. And I say would be because Ripsaw didn't really have much theming to the left and right, but if they definitely put some there, it may even look like Talakan without the shelter at the top. But we could see some really cool tentacle stuff or machinery coming up from the sides, or even we might see a huge observation platform just, spinning around with the gondola. But either way, theming wise, we know they're going for a more black and red look. I did make this for a thumbnail, and I might have used it again, I don't know. And I think that colour scheme does look really cool, actually. And obviously the other smaller thing is that queue line, where it's going to wrap around the south and southeast. Does that mean the south and southeast of the ride, or actually in general? I couldn't tell you, and I don't think it really matters anyway. But either way, the fact it fits all of those different things that the planning application said, it's just too good to be true. It's going to happen. And I would imagine because they've only just submitted planning application, it's either going to be a thing where it opens in the summer, if they build it really quickly, or you never know, it might even be for next year. But fingers crossed it opens in the summertime, because I think that would be just perfect. What do you think of this news, and do you actually think Ripsaw will return? Because it seems very likely. Leave your thoughts in the comments below and make sure you subscribe. Good night.